Hello, Dr. John. I'm Tina. The topic of our group presentation is marketing plan of Formula One. First, I will introduce you the basic information of Formula One, and my partner will tell you how to make more people pay attention to this sport and how to motivate fans to spend money on it and increase the loyalty. First, about the information. Formula One is the most prestigious car race under FIA, and it was first held in 1915. On this slide, we can see a lot of levels of Formula car race, and the number after the F represents for the speed of the car race. And Formula One level is the fastest Formula cars, and with the FIA simulated that there can only be one Formula One specification in the world. So Formula One is the fastest car race in the world, and we also call it F1 in brief. And F1 also have 21 stage races around the world each year, and we call it Grand Prix. Now let's take a look at the current state of F1. For its sporting image, F1 is one of the top 3 sport events in the world with Olympic Games and FIFA World Cup. Also, it is a very expensive and high-tech with the high technology. Like in order to make a car, they will spend about 1.8 million US dollars. And then they also use the most advanced technology to make a car, like aerodynamic technology. And they also have the high barriers to entry for riders, like the riders need to have the fittest body. Now, next, for the sports value, F1 is one of the top 10 most valuable sport events in the world, and its brand value is about 4 billion US dollars. For its events and commercial operations, they will sell the rights to hold events to the city, and they also, the TV station also need to pay high rights fee for the live rights feed, and they also retain the right to the sponsorship that they providing the exposure for the sponsors. Take Shanghai as an example. It has a very high sport value that the F1 helped Shanghai to shape the image of the World Cup city. And for distribution of fans, F1 have more than 1 billion followers and about 10 major markets in the world, including Brazil, China, France, and so on. And 77% fan growth driven by 16 to 35 years old growth in F1. And the reason for its retraction is F1 has its own documentary named Drive to Survive, which appeal a lot of young people to focus on this sport. And they also have the We Raise F1 proposal that promote the brand sustainability and inclusion. Last, it also have the extended content services that appeal to the young age group market. Next, move on to the income of F1. There are 4 parts about its income. First, about the broadcast rights represent for 38%. There are more than 15 country broadcast events, and the annual revenue for F1 in this part is about $800 million. Second, the tourist hold entrance fee represents for 30%. The local organizer need to pay $55 million to hold one F1 cast race. And third, for ticket sales dividend represents for 17%, and paying a percentage of ticket sales from local organizers to F1 officials are required. The last point, official sponsorship and land fees account for 15%. Well, that's my part. Let me pass you over to Jolin.
Next part is the module of how to make more people pay attention to this sport. Firstly, it's the target audience of F1. From the perspective of age, most players age from 18 to 24, which takes around 40%, and players age from 25 to 35 takes around 25%. From the perspective of gender, female takes only 20%. As we all know, the female sport of shopping is quite amazing, but F1 hasn't been developed and wasn't attractive enough for this group of young women. Recently, F1 has changed some strategy to fix the interests of young women already. So F1's target group is young men around 18 to 35 and young women. And there are 2 raising marketing issues. Firstly, insufficient brand communication effect and limited marketing communication range, like the abandon of broadcasting rights by CCTV5, limits some of our marketing communication. Secondly, insufficient understanding of racing, sports, and knowledge. To solve these issues, we have three marketing strategies. Firstly, it's the responsiveness. As we all know, there is FAQ module and contact email in the homepage of F1, so we can contact from this way if we meet some programs. And secondly, F1 has some official social medias like the Xiaohongshu, the Weibo, as the picture said. So if F1 could reply us timely if we meet some programs. F1's response to the public wasn't timely, which may be due to the problem of too few staff and too many questions. Therefore, I think that by cultivating some studios, make them help answering the questions of the masses in the media, this would be a good way to improve the response speed of F1 to the public.
And the next part is about accessibility. According to the content within Chapter 7, the authors point out the media and have a significant role in sports marketing. According to the series, we believe that the proposed marketing strategy needs to have the characteristics of accessibility. There are two keys to this. The first is about the media policy, which means increasing the transparency of the sports messaging at all levels. Build and maintain good media relations and optimize the media channels through which audience learn about F1 events. Sports events are very newsworthy, and various media online such as TV, newspapers, and the internet are proactive in obtaining valuable news information. The organizers of the race should establish a lasting and extensive relationship with the media. Plan highlights before, during, and after the race. Create news events to attract the attention of the media and arrange for the media to participate in the interviews of the various activities of the competition, which will help to further report and expose the events. Through the promotion of the events, it will attract the attention of consumers and promote the sales of tickets. In addition to the target audience segmentation and the concept of multidimensionality and multiculturalism mentioned by Kotler in Chapter 7, we believe that we can focus on the use of new medium in racing communication marketing. Through the online medium and social apps, we can spread the racing culture directly so that more and more consumers can learn about F1 through various media channels easily and quickly. F1 can create accounts and channels to spread the racing culture by releasing race highlights or interesting science content videos. The second point is to build a market strategy that allows consumers and fans to reach out to the brand and experience the sport in order to cultivate the atmosphere of the race. At the representative race of the F1, it is very important to cultivate the atmosphere of F1. Some countries will hold a party on the competition weekend of each stage, so as to bring up the atmosphere of the race and drive the audience to participate in the sport. In addition to the main race in China, F1 can also create a festival atmosphere by organizing racing festivals and carry out various reality activities to increase the audience to participate in the competition. And moreover, on non-race day, racing clubs can also hold various events on a regular basis to attract fans to continue to participate in and increase the participation of the public. A series of leisure and entertainment facilities and activities can be introduced to enable the public to understand this sport and the culture and attract the audience to pay attention to this event.
I'm Jerica. According to our choice of Chapter 7, interactivity is when the fan plays a participatory and involved role in the sports experience. In this regard, we have proposed three strategies. 1. Since F1 racing has high technical requirements, the public cannot experience the speed by themselves. Therefore, F1 cooperates with the Chinese racing club to give part to the technology to allow Chen fans to experience racing in the safe range. 2. Because of the COVID-19, it's difficult for Chinese fans to get to the local area of the game to experience the atmosphere. So F1 can organize online lottery activity. Choose a lucky Chinese person to watch the F1 behind the scenes work on live and play the e-game for free. Get the opportunity to chat with the drivers, connecting the F1 to the fans around their own experience. 3. By promoting a free e-sport game like VR racing, phone games, let public stimulate the experience of F1 and improve interactivity. Before talking about the star communication, please let me introduce the Chinese driver called Zhou Guanyu. He was born in Shanghai, China. He signed a contract with F1 last year and became the first Chinese driver to F1 in history. He is also the only Chinese among the top 20 F1 drivers in the world. And this is the search data of the keywords Zhou Guanyu and F1. On the Weibo platform, the blue line represents Zhou Guanyu and the purple line represents F1. We can clearly see that the Chinese market, Zhou Guanyu and F1 has a positive relationship. It can be the same that Zhou Guanyu can communicate with the Chinese market as a star. Zhou Guanyu's status as Chinese first F1 driver means that he has the essence of a star, with some outstanding attributes and the potential to attract fans in China. So F1 can win, using the outstanding attributes of the first F1 driver in Chinese history to attract the attention of audience in the Chinese market. 2. Using new media like Weibo to bombard the hot news that happens after Zhou Guanyu joins F1 to make Chinese audience more familiar with F1 and Zhou Guanyu. 3. Publish more behind the scenes of Zhou Guanyu on Chinese social media to let Chinese audience know more about the details of the F1 race through the icon. This strategy means that F1 need communications and performance training for Zhou Guanyu to help him to be more expressive in front of the camera. About the star facility, since this market plan is mainly aimed at China, and there is currently only one F1 track in China. It's designed to look like the Chinese symbol for Shang, means upwards, so F1 can build its inclusive tracks in other cities in China, increase the architectural decoration of Shanghai attraction, and meet star power. For example, design a building that references the shape of the Oriental Pearl Tau nest chair to make audience and participants feel the culture of Shanghai while racing.
Hello everyone, I'm Lydia. In this session, I will talk about how to stimulate Chinese fans to spend for FE and increase their loyalty. From the previous presentations by the group, I have summarized these specific strategies. Firstly, add value to FE tickets. For example, by working with other ticket agencies, the special nature of FE circuit means that the venue must be located away from the city. So FE can be sold at a reduced price along with transport and accommodation tickets. Secondly, when a spectator buys an FE ticket, they can be given a coupon for shopping in a mall or souvenir shop. Secondly, is the establishment of an official FE membership system. Those who become members will be able to enjoy advanced ticket, membership gifts, birthday greetings, etc. And thirdly, marketing the official FE video games in China, which is not a popular game in China because of its fixed charge. So FE can attract fans in China by offering free trials and releasing limited game pubs in China. On top of that, it could invite famous Chinese game streamers, for example, PDD and Jiesui, to play the FE video game live, who each have 10 million followers. These measures will not only allow more FE fans to join the game, but also enable ordinary people to become fans of FE through the game. Firstly, selling official FE peripherals. For example, motor cars, co-branded products with other brands and commemorative coins. Finally, increase loyalty by giving out free products to people watching the race, such as posters, tote bags with the FE logo, giving them free snacks and drinks, and so on. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.